or Lu'ban, both. Lu'ban is more. Mm. Yeah, Lu'ban is more actually. I'm saying from memory. But masdars, there can be more than one masdar. Okay. And you have breakfast. Aftara yuftiru. Easy one is the fourth form, eh? أفعل إفعال. أفعل يفعل إفعال. يتغدى is a fifth form. The forms that I've told you all about. It's a fifth form. يتغدى hope you all going to the word. Did I go through the detail? Oh, the first lesson you did, but for police lesson we didn't have not. Alright, so okay, we have 10 more minutes. I want to teach you the dictionary first, then we'll come back here. Alright, so the dictionary, inshallah, I will already enabled from my phone. So I hope that you have gone and searched with your own phones. The hands were. There are other dictionaries out there which other teachers might recommend, but this is the one that I use lah. So this is the one that I'm very familiar with. Right, so I'm gonna share my screen. Right, wait, okay. So okay, so I share my screen. It is this one, hands were. I can see the hands were there. So hands were. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna put it this way. Okay, it's smaller. So never mind, I'll enlarge it. Okay, so basically the hands were, it works with the forms that I've taught you all about. Right, so for example, if I want to search, right, if I want to search in Arabic, so I hope you all can basically install an Arabic keyboard in your phones. Right, so for example, if I want to search the word arafa, ain ra fa, arafa. Right, so arafa means to know. Right, I'm going to see what other words I can find for the word arafa. So I go, right, and then okay. So when I open up a dictionary, this dictionary is available physical. You can actually buy the dictionary, but it is an app lah. Right, so you can actually go and purchase. I highly don't like at all nor recommend using translators. Right, so if you have like an English Arabic translator, I highly don't recommend, and I don't like it also. Right, so because they tend to not translate it correctly. Right, so a dictionary gives you an array of meaning, so you can read through all of the words that this word can possibly mean. Right, and then when you look back at your sentence, you can kind of like piece together what it actually means. So it gives you a sense of the word. Right, as opposed to translation, it just gives you the first word that comes, which might not be it might not be accurate. Right, so I'm very much against translators, English and Arabic or whatever lah translators. Right, but to go by the dictionary itself. Okay, I'm gonna point out here, right? Okay, so if you look at the word arafa, right? You see arafa, right? And then there's an I next to it. Do you see it? And there's an arafa and an I next to it. I don't know when I can point with my phone. Okay, it's just a pointer. I don't know what to do. Okay, never mind. I can see, right? Yeah, I can see. It's so slight. My pointer is pointing at the arafah. Okay, so the arafah, that is a past tense. So it tells you fatha, arafah. The I here tells you ya'arifu. Let me draw it. Draw something. Screen, right? Okay, now I should screen sheet pula. Okay, never mind. Okay, so arafa, something like Allah, not to use this. Okay, right. So arafa, the I here, right? The I here tells me that if I were to write out my present tense, right, that is going to be, sorry, that the center letter is going. They put an I. Right, and the center letter is a kasrah. Okay, if they put an A, that means center letter is a fatha. If they put a U, that means center letter is a dhamma. Right, so from a dictionary you can tell how to read it. Right, so the past tense is here. Arafah is the past tense. So if I write Arafah, right, from the past tense, I know I can say Arafah. Okay? Present tense, you put an I, which tells me Ya'rifu. It tells me Ya'rifu. The I tells me is a kasrah. Okay. Then the words that come after it here are all the masdars, the possible masdars. So the possible masdars of the word Arafah is ma'arifah, as we've taken earlier on. There is a possible masdar that is called irfan. Right, so irfan is also a masdar of the word Arafah. Okay, looking at the word Arafah means to know, to get to know, to come to know, to recognize, perceive, to be cognizant, to be aware, to be acquainted with, to discover, to experience, to find out, to recognize, acknowledge as being right, and to concede, to approve, and so on. Tamam? Okay. Let me just continue reading. How do I get back to the... Okay. So if I continue reading, I go down. Okay, see, I see a Roman numeral. Right, do you see a Roman numeral 2? Do you see down there? There's a Roman numeral 2. I'm trying to circle it, but you can't see my pen. You can see, right? So you see from a top part here, Arafah, all the way down to the Roman numeral 2 is the meaning of the first word Arafah, the first form. There's how many words that it can actually mean. It has so many meanings, the word Arafah. So it doesn't just mean to know, it can mean to distinguish, to differentiate, right? To for it to be known, to be grateful to him, and so on. Right? So number 2 is to announce. So okay, number 2. How does number 2 sound like? So I know the form number 2. Okay, you flip to your notes. You open your notes, you find out that the form number 2 is fa'ala yufa'ilu. Correct? Fa'ala yufa'ilu. So let me just write down number 2. Okay. So I have Arafah. Arafah. Okay, form number 2 would mean Arafah. Correct? Arafah yu'arrifu. Arrafa yu'arifu. Right, second form means to announce, inform, advise, appraise, acquaint. Okay, that is second form. Alright, and so on. And so you will read to the next part. If you read further down, you will find the next column. You read, so introduce, present, determine, specify, what, and all that means second form. So the thing about this dictionary is that it's not for you, it's not to enable you to translate from English to Arabic. It doesn't go that way. It goes from Arabic to English. Right? So whatever I'm doing with you all now is that we're going to be reading Arabic passages and we're going to find out what they mean with a dictionary next to us. Right? And this will, inshallah, give you independence in Arabic study. Right? So you can read a passage or read something or hear something and you pick up a word and then you're like, what does it mean? So you don't have to go and go translate, because it will give you all kinds of don't know what nonsense, right? Or no, you have to go and go to the teacher and ask her. But you have a dictionary that you can read through, right? And I'm going to use this one from now on with our daily verbs for the sentences, and for us to figure out what the sentences mean. Okay, right? So if I go further down from here, okay, I see a Roman numeral 5. So you say, hey, what happened to 3 and 4? Why is there 5 appearing out of nowhere? Okay, that means, it tells me there is no form for 3 for this particular verb. Okay, not all verbs, in fact, most of the verbs will not have all forms. You have forms 1 to 10, right? Only some of the verbs will have some of the forms. Right, so if I don't see Roman numeral number 3, that means number 3 does not exist. It does not exist in the Arabic language. I see Roman numeral number 5. For some reason, they put number 4 after number 6. That means number 4 also not here. Number 4 also does not exist. So there is no fourth form for the word Arafah. There is no third form for the word Arafah. There is a fifth form for the word Arafah. Okay, what does the fifth form sound like? So now I check my notes. I open my notes. I see, okay, fifth form is tafa'ala yatafa'alu. Right? Usually there's a second form, there's usually a fifth form because they're very close to each other in meaning. Right? So ta'arrafa ta'arrafu. Ta'arrafa ta'arrafa. Correct? I just plug it in. All the fa'ala I plug in arafa. See how the forms work? Right? The root word is plugged into the trilateral root word. Right? So let me just write it down. Okay, so if I want to pull up my fifth form, okay, just bear with me, okay? We do more and more of this, you get the hang of it. Inshallah, get the hang of it. Alright, so now the fifth form. Okay, let me just compare first. Let me see different color. Okay, let me just compare first to my fifth form that I know that is in my notes. So my note says tafa'ala. Correct? The notes tells you that the fifth form is tafa'ala. Correct? Okay, so now I'm looking at the word arafa, right? Which tells me that the root word is fa'ala. So I'm going to replace fa'ala with arafa. You see that? Right, the first letter is the fa letter, second letter is the ain letter, third letter is the lam letter. So my fifth form will look like this. Ta'arrafa. Ta'arrafa. Okay. So if I see a word like this, ta'arrafa, okay, what does it mean? To become acquainted or to make acquaintance, to make known, disclose one's identity, to reveal, to familiarize. Fa'tarafu bidhanbihim in Surah Muluk. Fa'tarafu bidhanbihim. So fa'tarafu, the one is not fifth form, the one is eighth form. The one is i'tarafa. That's the eighth form, i'tarafa. Okay, and so on. Okay, sixth form. Okay, I see a sixth form here. How come I see a sixth form? I didn't see a third form. There was no third form, is it? Very strange. If there is sixth form, usually there's a third form. Let me go back. Let me check again. I didn't see a third form just now. Second form. Okay lah, the sixth form, but there is no third form. Okay, sixth form. I have sixth form. So again, you look at your notes. The sixth form goes ta'arafa. Correct? So it goes tafa'ala. You all have your notes with you, right? Right. You have your notes with you. Okay, so your notes goes tafa'ala. Right? So your form will be ta'arafa. Correct? Ta'arafa. Okay. I don't expect you all to be able to produce the word. But what I'm going to expect you all to do is that if you see the word, you are able to recognize what is the root word. Okay, and I'm going to walk you all through doing this. Alright, and then once you can recognize the root word, you search up the root word. Then you recognize what form is it. You look at it, what form is it? And you can recognize what form is it, and you go straight to the form. Okay, you go straight to the form, and you see what it means. So ta'arafa means to become acquainted with one another, become mutually acquainted, get to know each other, and so on. Okay, the next form that you see here is the eighth form. V line is eighth form. Right, so eighth form means to confess, admit, acknowledge, right, to recognize. And here is the one that I said just now in Surah Muluk. Fa'tarafu bidhanbihim. Fa'tarafu. It's from the ifta'ala, ifta'ala, i'tarafa. Right, so ifta'ala, fa'ala, replaced with arafa. You will have the word i'tarafa, which means to confess or to admit. So Allah says in the Quran, fa'tarafu bidhanbihim, and they admitted to their sins. They admitted to their sins. We'll do a bit of exercise inshallah in a while. We'll just finish this part. Just read through. So as to show you how dictionary works, but it takes practice. Right, to be able to maneuver the dictionary, it takes practice. Right, so that is the eighth form, and you have one last form, the 10th form. That 10th form means to discern or recognize. So it's ista'rafa. is ta'arafa. For me, because I've been doing this for 10 years, so I can just pull it out. Right? So you all will take time, right, to look at your notes, take out the fa'ala, put inside the arafa, right, and then see what it says. Try your best, and then you can go back to the meaning and see what it means. Tamam? Okay. Whenever you look for any root word, the first that you see all of this first part, this first column, second column are all the verbs. They're all the verbs. And they only put in the Roman numerals where it's understood what the Roman numerals mean. So I taught you all. The dictionary is not usable for someone who's not learned the forms. Right? So if you've not learned the forms, you wonder what are all these Roman numerals? Right? You must have learned the form, then this dictionary makes sense. Alright. After all the verbs are mentioned, then comes all the possible nouns from this root word. So you see arf, and you read it as how they write it. So if they say ain rafa arf, like that, there's sukun on the ra. Sukun on the ra, arf meaning fragrance, perfume, scent. Urf, urf, we hear this word a lot, is the urf of society, is the urf. Why is the urf? It is a custom, tradition, and so on. You know, further on, urfi. Urfi means traditional. If you go next page, right, and you can read this word is a very long word. Okay, the word Arafah is a very long and very, very famous word. So you have Arif. Arif is someone who's aware, can reach for a teacher of a Quran school and so on. You have Arraf. Arraf is a fortune teller. You have Arrafa, female fortune teller. Then you have Arafat. Now, Arafat is Arafat lah. Right? And then you have Irfan. And then you have A'araf. A'araf, to know better. Ma'arifa. You can go further down and look at the words. You have Ma'arif. And Ma'arif. Ta'arif. Ta'arif from the same word. Ta'arif is the mazhar of the second form. And then you have Ta'arifa. Right? Ta'arifa. You have Ta'arifi. Ta'arruf. Ta'arruf is a very familiar word. It's from the word Arafa. Right? But it is the fifth form masdar. Fifth form Ta'arruf is to study, explore, to realize. Like easy as introduction, Like, but the meaning is to actually acquaintance, to be acquainted. Now, i'tiraf, a confession. It's not done yet, so you can turn some more. The word Arafah goes so long Arafah. It's like 3 pages of Arafah. That it ends here lah. It ends around here. Then Araqah comes in there. So you see Araqah. So you see all the nouns to do with the word Arafah. All the nouns to do with the word Arafah. Then you have Ariqa. Right. So you see the past tense of the word Ain Raqa. They write it out for you how it's pronounced. It's Ariqa. So you don't say Araqa or Aruqa. You say Ariqa. Then you have an A next to it, which means Ya'raqu. Ariqa, Ya'raqu. So you can see how you can know the harakat from the dictionary. It tells you the correct harakat. And then you have the verbal noun araq, which means to sweat. So now you know how to say sweaty in Arabic. It's sweaty. Ta'arraq, right? A lot of sweat. Okay. I hope that was informative, right? So I want all of you to go and download the dictionary. You can buy. I think you can buy it if you want. If you like this kind of, you're very old school. You like the book in front of you. I have my own. This one. I have my own physical book dictionary because I learned 10 years ago. So back then there was no app. Back then it was a book dictionary. More than 10 years ago I learned this. Right, so you can actually buy it online if you want, if you prefer lah to flip. Tapi kalau tak, this one is easy because you just type it in, it appears for you. Okay, so I'm gonna go back here. So I'm gonna give it as homework for you all. For it to be as homework for you all, right? As homework for you all. As far as you can, right? And to try and set the haqq. Okay, haqq, you know what the meaning of haqq is, right? Haqq is truth. So qul is safe. Walau, even if kana, this is, you know, this, even if it was mur. dictionary you search mim ra, you should say the truth, even if it's bitter. Okay, so try our best this coming week, right, to search up the words and to try and understand the sentences that are here. And next week, inshallah, we'll okay, and inshallah I will be doing this from now on, and I will all inshallah in dictionary usage, right? Because once, yes, yes.
The first lesson, first lesson, we have done only until 5 sentences.
Oh, is it? Okay, then you go back.
Sorry, yeah.
Okay, 5. You only done 5 sentences of the first lesson. Yeah. Okay, then you all work from here lah. Okay, so you work from here from after number 5, is it? Okay, so then you search dakhala. So you know dakhala already what it means. Al ustaz. Okay, ustaz, you know what it means. Don't have to search, eh? Then al fossil. Okay, probably the first word to check. What does fossil mean? So you look at the word, you say fa so la. Right? So you're gonna pull out the root word. Here is easy. Khar al muslimuna min al masjid. Okay, you know what is muslimun, you know what is masjid. Kharaja means go out. Probably you know what the sentence means. Right? So you look for words that you have to search it up in the dictionary. Right? So the key is look for the 3-letter root word. The 3-letter root word. And you look it up and try and see if you can figure out what this mean. Next week I will go through with you all from here. Okay? So we'll stop there for today. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. There's a question here. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الفاتحة أن الله رزقنا منافعا وعملا خاصا واستعلم ودلالة على الهدى ويسر بغض النبي محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه وسلم وإلى أرواح معاني من مشايخنا وذوي الحقوق علينا وإلى حضرة النبي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. الفاتحة.